US President Donald Trump has yet to confirm if the US will become involved in airstrikes against Iran, telling reporters he may or may not do it. Ayatollah Khamenei has rejected his demand for unconditional surrender, warning any US involvement will have serious, irreparable consequences. The Islamic Republic's mission to the United Nations said the only thing more despicable than Mr. Trump's lies is his cowardly threat to take out Iran's supreme leader. Tonight, President Trump confirmed he would be meeting his security officials for a second night running in the White House Situation Room.
The residue of a ballistic missile sent from Iran towards northern Israel. After decades of a shadow war between the two countries, this conflict is firmly in the open, with Iranians also picking up the pieces of Israeli drones. The volley of missiles continues, matched by the volley of threats, as Washington toys with the idea of direct involvement to shore up Israeli strikes and use heavier duty weaponry to target Iran's nuclear program.
I may do it, I may not do it. I mean, nobody knows what I'm going to do. I can tell you this, that Iran's got a lot of trouble and they want to negotiate. And I said, why didn't you negotiate with me before? All this death. They're totally defenseless. They have no air defense whatsoever.
Iran's supreme leader, though, struck a defiant tone. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warning that US involvement in this conflict would bring irreparable damage. As Tehran said, such a move would be a declaration of war.
At any time, at any point, if we come to the conclusion that the United States is directly involved in attacks against Iran, we will start responding to the United States.
As Israel continues its strikes on Iranian military targets tonight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed to continue this operation with what he called tremendous force, as he thanked the US President for standing by Israel. White House officials are meeting to discuss the ongoing crisis, with the US working to evacuate its citizens from Israel, as the world watches and waits to see what direction this conflict takes next. Fiona Mitchell, RTE News.
Let's have a quick word now with our Washington correspondent, Sean Whelan. Donald Trump, Sean, uncharacteristically coy about what happens next. What's the sense of where we're at in Washington then?
Well, Sharon, there's a lot starting to happen in the past few minutes. We're starting to hear word of a diplomatic initiative coming out of Europe. We'd been told earlier that the French President Macron and his counterparts have been trying to put something together. It now looks as going to be a meeting in Geneva on Friday involving British, French and German diplomats hosted by the Germans at their mission there. The EU will be briefed, Kaja Kallas, just before they go into that meeting with the Iranian foreign minister, who's apparently going to travel to Geneva for that meeting. German diplomats who've briefed on this have said that the Americans are fully informed on this and are supportive of the idea. That ties in with all the things that President Trump has been saying today, being non-committal, saying there's still a chance that they should have done an agreement last week, but there's still a chance, and that he's not going to make up his mind until the very last second before something is due to happen, because he said during a war anything can happen, things can change at the last minute. So it does seem that he is playing for time, looking for space for a diplomatic initiative. Those ideas, of course, are going to be thrashed out in a meeting of the US National Security Council taking place in the Situation Room under the White House, starting roundabout now, we gather, where the President is going to have to weigh that against all of the other issues that have been weighing heavily on him, particularly the technical feasibility of using these bunker buster bombs against these Iranian nuclear facilities. They haven't been used before. Nobody knows if they will actually do the job that they think it will do. If it doesn't do the job, how long is America going to be stuck in a war for? That's a strategic question. How do they get out of it? And then he also has growing political problems within his own MAGA core base within the Republican Party. A lot of people in that faction extremely unhappy at the thought of America getting involved in yet another Middle Eastern war. Sharon?
Sean in Washington, thank you. Well, we're going to have a quick word now with our political correspondent, Miall Lahan, who has an update for us tonight on how this unfolding volatility, Miall, is affecting Irish people in Iran. Tell us more.
Yes, the government and the Taoiseach in particular have been engaged in a major diplomatic effort over the last number of hours to try to help people who may want to leave Iran and Israel. And it's understood that Austria may be able to provide assistance on that front to get people out of the region sometime during the weekend, where they could be bused to either Jordan or Egypt. Now, the Taoiseach will hold talks with the Jordanian foreign minister tomorrow morning, where this issue will be discussed. When it comes to Israel, it is expected that the airspace over that country could reopen in the coming days. That would provide people there with options if they wanted to leave. So a major focus has been on Iran. On the general point, the Taoiseach telling TDs and senators here tonight that the next 28 to 48 hours are crucial if a further escalation in the Israel-Iran war is to be avoided.
Miall Lahan in Leinster House, thank you.